What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. Today, I just realized I haven't covered OTS Pack 9 on Market Watch at all, and there's some things that have me scratching my head. There's some other things that I'd personally invest in, so let's go ahead and get into it. Shizuku up here around the $51 mark, and cheapest 60 on eBay. This is because it's relatively newer, the supply versus the demand question mark. I think we'll quickly see this go down as we look to Sky Striker Ace Kaguri. Now, there could be an argument made here. Oh, Kaguri is more likely to get hit on a Forbidden and Limited list, John. Well, to that I say, if it gets hit, the whole deck is going downwards just a little bit, ain't it? So, we do see on eBay it's a little bit more expensive as well, so motivated players on TCG Player versus eBay, but I think we can look to history. This is not a Ghost Ogre. This is not a Solemn Strike. This is not a card that's going to see play in future formats or be defining of a meta. It sticks to one deck that is no longer an engine. It was Sky Striker the engine. We're locked to Sky Striker the deck, and that deck will likely continue to get hit on Forbidden and Limited lists, and even if this were to stay at 3, even if Kaguri is what's going to get hit, I feel like this will tank when that happens just a little bit, so weird to see it at top. Stratos is what I expected to be at top, and it's at $45. It ain't too cheap when we're looking through, and a little more over here on eBay. I expect it to be a lot like Darklaw. I expect it to fall down towards 30 as it heads towards 30 or 28, get bought back up to 40, 45, over and over and over again. So expect a roller coaster as quantities fill up. But Stratos is a little more iconic than Darklaw, and I think every hero player is going to end up playing him. We have the Destiny Hero support coming forward soon. It's a weird place to think about. I think there's going to be multiple times where Stratos gets hyped. I think there's going to be multiple times after the buyouts the prices fall from motivated sellers. I think it'll be a cycle similar to Darklaw, but let me know, do you think it'll stay above the price that Ulti Darklaw has been at, or do you think it's going to be its own man, its own myth, its own legend, and have a different price cycle? I feel like it'll be very similar personally. And like Horus, rounding out the bottom, $40, huh? $40, staying around there too. I predicted this would be a $30 card pretty quickly, and it's headed there. It's stuck in Trickstars, but Trickstars haven't been hit at all in the TCG. I was going to say USA. The TCG period versus the OCG Trickstars got some pretty heavy hits, so I think it's just a rogue deck that's going to be around. I don't think it's too much on Konami's radar. They haven't paid too much attention to Droll/Reincarnation/Light Stage, and I think this will be a $30 card for a long time. But right now it's at $40. Let me know if you think it's going to stick here or go down. Now, continuing through OTS Pack 9, some surprising prices, but once you think about OTS Pack history, not so much. Like, Sekka's Light is hanging up early towards that $5 mark. It goes in multiple rogue decks. It reminds me of Super Fossil. Like, we got that super meta card at the time, and or rogue tier hero card at the time, and Thunder Dragon Matrix, similarly $5. Like, it's in the meta. It's not the meta, it's in the meta, and it holds a $5 price right now as it's newer, and people are, headed towards it. Now, what I'd invest in, these Dracosac tokens. When I look at Dragon Ruler, I truly do think it could be the next GOAT format. It and Zodiac, Necros, there's a lot of popular past formats that aren't GOAT, but I feel like Dragon Ruler could become one of the more widely played ones throughout the future as maybe old pros come back and want to have something to do in downtime. So this, I think, has potential to go up, and I didn't even know they did multiple tokens, which actually makes me really happy. So I'd personally get all of the Mecha Fan of Beast tokens over time and just stockpile them and hoard them. That would be my tendency to do. And I've had bad calls in the market. I've had good calls in the market. Let's not front. I'm not always right. But I think this is a good one to hold on to over time. I don't think we'll see, multiple incarnations. They've given us the token here. I don't think they'll be like, oh yeah, that was a really good printing, like Foolish Burial Goods or something, or Ghost Reaper and Winter Chairs. We're not going to see this reprinted into the ground, and I think this is a pretty good pickup here. Also, personal spoofing. That was pretty nice also. So, Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff coming out of the OTS pack. The normal 2s to 3s trying to get my entry back for tournament just a little bit. Super Reproducus was pretty cool. You're going to want to foil out that version for Thunder Dragon players. There's a lot of interesting things. I think, though, if I was stockpiling, it would be stuff that's more general, like Reproducus, that will end up later in other decks, and the Phantom Beast tokens. So, what's your guys' thoughts on where the ultis lie? What would you also be grabbing out of here? Just moving on, Blackluster Soldier, the cheapest version, period, continues to rise. 880 for the common versus its market price of 8, so just keeps on trudging up slowly. It keeps going upwards. It's very interesting, and I really hope this gets another reprint soon. I hate to have to say that, but considering its last common was stuck in a $30 MSRP product, it's a little understandable how we ended up here, isn't it? So we look at the supers, we look at the commons. Cheapest on eBay is 10, and cheapest is 880 over here. eBay might be a little more expensive right now because of all their sales, by the way. I always do say check both, but I feel like that 15% off sale definitely helped kick TCG Player to being the place to shop for now. So, Blackluster Soldier, old friend though, he ends up in more and more decks, right? Like, you can play him in Thunder Dragons, Burning Abyss. He's just so good. And it's come back to this point where at first, when he came back, wasn't played, and now at 3, like, everyone's starting to shove him in certain decks. I don't think you should underestimate our mans here at all. Looking at Shiranui Style Swallow Slash. Try saying that 5 times fast. See what I did there? $2 on TCG Player. I've been doing bulk picking streams. I'll actually be doing one tonight, 7 Central. And I was pulling out a lot of these because chat was telling me, hey, John, this is $2 to $3. And I didn't believe them at first, but I kept pulling them out. Like, I got happier as I found more. Turns out, chat was right. This is one I would have missed. So, why is it going up? Well, obviously, we got a ton of zombie access. This is one of the ones not reprinted left behind when we're talking about overall. I believe Swallows... isn't there another Swallow Slash? Am I wrong? No, there's not. Yeah, I think this is the only printing besides Mega Pack 2, so you're stuck with 2 printings, and then nothing past that. We never got a super rare version of this that would bring down the Commons version and give us a lot of them. It just kind of got lost in transition for being reprinted at all, so... Out of Bosch, highly open set. Out of Mega Pack 16, hasn't seen a reprint in 2 years. Those kind of commons tend to end up going up. So maybe a common you didn't know you had was worth money. Now you know. World Legacy Secession. I would call this an inflated card. I would say its price is above where it should be. And, you know, we're eventually going to head towards reprint season on it, right? The thing is... if you're a Guard Dragon player, you're likely going to be playing some of these, if not at least one of these. So do keep that in mind moving forward. And Guard Dragons did get the Red Eyes link, and they have the Heraldic link coming. So, like, everything's coming together for Guard Dragons just in time for the WCQ, which is pretty exciting. So I would be selling this if you're not a Guard Dragon player. But if you are a Guard Dragon player, this is pretty good. I guess also, like, certain incarnations of Saryuja Turbo 1 extenders through this. So... there are definitely places for it, depending on how you play your deck or what you're playing. But for me, I think I still feel like its price is inflated overall. Talking about budget, though, Crusadia Equimax, Crusadia Guard Dragon, a deck that I do admire. Equimax and the Crusadias are a budget deck right now, and just looking through, actually, a lot of the Kaiju's prices, as Kaijus have been cited less and less, have slowly gone down. Gamma Seal, of course, still the most expensive, but you see, like, Jizukiru down here at the $2 mark for Bosch First Eds. Yeah, it's still at $4 for the Mega Pack, but hey, there's a deal if you've been waiting on Jizukiru. And Radiant at $4. Like, yeah, there's still a little bit for what they are, but at the same time, they've slowly been falling. I remember when this was like $6, so everything's been going down for what it is. I think it's a great time to grab Kaijus here in the off-season and just have them for future applications and use. I definitely think Crusadia is also a fun budget rogue deck to have, and this is probably one of the more expensive pieces in it, besides the hand traps that, you know, for going... You go seconds, you kind of need hand traps in the deck to kind of try to stymie your opponent. But depending on how you play it, you could have a completely budget version that gets you an invite at regionals. Finally, I want to talk about Troll and Toad. By the way, I don't get anything from Troll and Toad. They actually give everything to Zodiac and the tournaments and you guys in chat, so I don't get anything by ever shouting them out. They have the legendary hero decks at $13. It's really freaking cool. Now, one thing to keep in mind is they will charge you on shipping on anything that is not a booster pack. So even booster boxes, I believe you end up with shipping charges. But they're having a sale right now, and the best way to really use Troll and Toad is to trade in, get this 25% bonus, and keep about 200 to 300 credit. I find, especially back when I used to buy and sell, because they're having this like winter sale. So you see like Saiho boxes, TCG player, $60. They have them at $45. That's pretty good if you're like hungering for some sealed product or gifts. And you know, a lot of people were messaging me, I miss out on the GameStop deal. A lot of people are telling me they didn't have anything at their GameStop period, or they don't live next to one. Too bad. Troll and Toad has $5.50 special editions, only 50 cents more, and if you were using the trade-in value, it's even cheaper. And using that trade-in value basically could cover like the shipping and get you further discounts. I look at Hidden Summoners, $45 booster boxes. People keep telling me they want to rip them open. They're here. So like if you're ordering a lot of product versus the shipping, like if you got the deeper pockets in order to order, you'll be saving money versus everything. Yeah, the people who have more keep saving more. That's just the way the world turns, I suppose, some days. But they do have individual booster packs, I believe, of Saiho at like $2. So that would actually be free shipping. But I prefer sealed product, sealed booster, especially if like you're going to pack open on YouTube or something. So just something to keep in mind. Troll's having a sale. Some of their prices do beat GameStop's, but you will be facing a shipping charge. So do consider how you're going to fill your cart, what you're going to fill it with, and kind of build your own thing. Again, I find it most worth it when you have trade-in credit. Usually their hot list is pretty good for stuff like that. You already get prices that beat what you would get back after TCG Player and eBay, after fees, shipping, etc., versus shipping a bunch of cards to them, and then you get a 25% bonus. I just like to keep that credit for when they have sales like this. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. What did you guys think? I definitely have been meaning to get to OTS Pack 9. There's a lot of interesting things in it. What do you think about me featuring random commons like this that you might not have known about? Because certainly I didn't know. Maybe I'm just an old man falling behind the times. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video if you enjoyed the discussion. And I do have a P.O. Box and Patreon down below if you'd like to send things in to get signed back. The $2 Patreons actually have the ability, you just got to send the return postage, and me, Billy Break, Jackie, anybody in the house, even the chair behind me will sign your cards. That would be an interesting one. Signed by the chair. It won't look that good, trust me.